Hi to our children and youth. I'm glad to be back with you this week. We're talking about resilience, and that's the ability to stick with something, to ride the highs and the lows, even when it's tough. It's kind of like being on that roller coaster and knowing that there's going to be an upside down loop and it's going to be a little crazy and you're going to keep on going and everything will be okay. So, in your lives, one of the times when you might need a little more resilience is when you're in conflict. Conflict scares all of us. Children, youth, adults, conflict is hard. And sometimes we shy away from it. We don't want to deal with things where we have disagreements because we know it's not going to be easy to do. But I want to ask you to think a little bit differently about conflict today, because in the Bible, Jesus walked right into conflict. There are plenty of conflicts between God and the people, and between the people and other people, all throughout the Bible. And that is instructive. It tells us that conflict is part of life and we should expect it. We should expect to have differences of opinions. We should expect to be heading in different directions, to have some natural tension. Now, you may be experiencing this with friends, but more likely right now, because of the pandemic, we're experiencing this a lot with our families. We have disagreements with brothers and sisters, to all out fights sometimes. We have disagreements with our parents. All of that is frequent. Now, I want to ask you to think a little bit differently about it. So let's think about a conflict that you've had with your parents, let's say. Okay? So a lot of times when people are in conflict, they're uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about it. They just want to get through it as quickly as possible. So people can walk away, or people might choose to just hunker down and pretend it's not there. But conflict actually means something positive is happening. Let me say that again because it really is true. When you're in conflict with someone, it means that something positive is happening. If someone is choosing to maintain that relationship with you, even when you're having problems, it means they love you. It means they care about you. It means they're invested in you. Because we've all seen it. You've seen it in friendships when you get into a disagreement with someone and that person just chooses to walk away and not be your friend anymore because you had an argument. I think all of us have had that happen. That's the easy way out. When there's a conflict, it's easy to just say, oh, I'm done. I don't want to deal with the feelings. I don't want to deal with the discomfort. I'm out of here. And you don't engage. The people who stick with you and have the conflict, share the opinions, and try to find a way to get through it, those are the people who really care about you. Those are the people who are invested. Those are the people who want to be there. And so if you start seeing that in a little bit of a different way, I think it might change the way you look at conflict, and it might increase your ability to be resilient, to keep going, to be that rubber band that stretches and yet is still itself. Because every time you stay, you're showing love too. That's what God does with us all the time. We make decisions that God doesn't like. We do things that God wishes were different. But God always stays with us because God loves us more than we can ever understand. We will never lose God through a conflict because God will never leave us. Have a great week, everybody. Hope this gives you something wonderful to think about. Take care.